Hello my people, welcome to 101 TV. It's your boy Dayo again on Sports Updates, and we are back. Well, if anything must have happened this entire week, I hope you guys actually enjoyed the English Premier League and the Serie A and the La Liga, because we are back to it. We are back to football, and football is coming in. After the short international break, games have been happening and a lot of things have been happening in the world of sports and the world of football specifically. So yeah, it's the rundown of what you guys might have missed. Well, to start off, first of all, we're going to start off with what's happening in London, in the Gunners Stadium. Right now, David Luiz and Ceballos went head-to-head during training. Yes, it was an intense fight between these two fellow Arsenal players, where David Luiz actually went toe-to-toe with Ceballos and hit him on his nose. He broke his nose. He actually broke Ceballos' nose when they were training in the stadium. How crazy is that? How crazy is that? It means things are going bad for Arteta's squad, and he needs to organize his boys. He needs to bring them together because they are not performing so well in Premier League, and now they are fighting themselves. They are actually going toe-to-toe. People are breaking each other's nose. The whole camp is on fire. What is going on, Arteta? What is going on? I mean, your boys are actually lacking in form and constantly struggling to win games. But that doesn't mean there should be some form of indiscipline in the squad. Well, apart from that fact, Arteta is very angry. He vows to find out who the mole is in the squad, because things like this are not supposed to reach the media in the first place, but they have. We know about it right now. The secret is out of the bag, and Arteta is trying his best to find out what is happening in his camp and why secrets like this are being released to the public. But he does claim that everything has been resolved and the problem has subsided, and these two players now, they're actually on the same team, have worked out their differences, and they are no more trying to kill each other, because that's good. If you are trying to kill your teammates, how do you expect to perform? Anyways, moving on to La Liga. Barca. Every single day we are shouting about Barca. Every single day we are complaining about Messi. What is going on in Camp Nou? It is crazy. Well. Again, Barca is facing crisis. A lot of injuries are going on. The likes of Sergio Roberto, Piqué are out of the squad. But even with those injuries, they are actually losing games. Koeman, the Netherlands coach, is complaining that his squad cannot lose games like this. They cannot actually fall behind like this, but he accepts full responsibility. What are you going to do about this, Koeman? You guys lost against your rivals, Atletico Madrid, 1-0, a goal right before the end of the first half, and they have decided anything. And if anything is to be said about this, this is exactly what is going on in Barca. Every single game is a struggle. Ever since Fati has been injured, goals have not been produced. A lot of things have been held back. I mean, people are relying on the likes of Dembele and Griezmann, but they are not providing anything reliable to the squad. I mean, just take a look at that squad right now. You have the greatest players there, like the likes of Messi, Griezmann when he's on his good day, but they are not providing any goals. They are not providing any assists. Things are going wrong. And the likes of Suarez that have actually gone to Atletico Madrid are performing. I mean, it's funny. It's actually quite comical if you think about it. Suarez left Barcelona and now he's in Atletico Madrid, and so what's going on? His team won a 1-0 goal. I mean, it's not the biggest of goals, just 1-0 lead, but things are not looking so well for Barcelona, and I wonder how they're going to pick up themselves. They have to, or else they're going to fall lower and lower in the group standings of La Liga, and that is going to affect every single thing that's going to be going on into the transfer season in January. But only time will tell. Is Messi going to get his things right? Is Koeman actually going to find a way to get the squad together? Are things going to get better in Camp Nou? Well, only time will tell. And if it does get better, I'll be the person reporting that news straight to you on Sports Updates. But anyway, let's actually celebrate the young Erling Haaland. Yes, the young under-21 player has been awarded the Golden Boy Award. I mean, that is amazing. They are actually a very difficult people on that list. If you think about it, the person who came runner-up was Ansu Fati. So first of all, let me explain to you how these people win this competition, okay? People actually vote for them. Yes, it's a vote. It's an online competition that people have to vote on, and the Golden Boy Award is awarded to the best under-21 players in the entire world. So these are the list of the top 5 people. So from the 4th position, it was Jadon Sancho. Sancho came in with 80 points. I'm actually quite surprised that the Dortmund superstar could not actually rise above his likes. But it's fourth on the list. I mean, that's an achievement in itself if you think about it. And right above Jadon Sancho is Alphonso Davies. Alphonso Davies came in third with 226 points. People voted for him. I mean, the Bayern Munich treble winner just came in third, but that still speaks to his performance. He's one of the youngest, best fullbacks in the game right now, and he's blowing minds. Well, second is Ansu Fati, the now injured Catalan star, came in at 239 points. Insane. People actually voted him, but he was nowhere close to the winner of the Golden Boy Award, Erling Haaland, and Erling Haaland came in at 302 points. The online vote came in. I mean, this guy has been putting in goals back-to-back in Bundesliga. He's one of the top goal scorers in the German league. He's blowing people's minds. The Norwegian star is going places, and I do pray to the gods of football that his career goes far. Because we need young boys like this. Just look at these four guys. Jadon Sancho, English, Alphonso Davies, Ansu Fati, Erling Haaland, they are all scattered across different leagues. Apart from Sancho and Haaland, they're in the same team in Dortmund. The rest are scattered all over the world, and that shows you that football in the next 5 to 7 years is going to be quite exciting. Exciting people, exciting youngsters are coming into football. So when the likes of Messi, Ronaldo, and Ibrahimovic eventually pass on the baton, we are going to see some very interesting young superstars killing the game. So football is going places, and I'm happy. If you're going to be a football fan, you have to be happy to see these youngsters performing, and I pray we have more competition among them. They actually get much tighter, and things are actually going to be more interesting for us in the future. But anyways, let's go into the English Premier League. The English Premier League this weekend was mind-blowing. A lot of insane things happened. But let's get into the one that actually shocked everybody's mind. Mourinho has destroyed his rival Pep Guardiola again. I mean, I took a second and I watched that game, and there are a lot of things I have to tell you guys. First of all, Mourinho is a genius. Mourinho has actually taken time to convert one of the greatest English strikers in the world, Harry Kane, into not just a goal scorer, but now an assist provider. Harry Kane is the highest, as currently right now in the Premier League, has the highest assist, and is third in the top goal scorer in English Premier League. Just think about that for 1 second. Harry Kane, the guy that's constantly racking in goals back to back, one of the highest goal scorers for Tottenham, one of the highest goal scorers in the English Premier League of all time, has actually changed things around. Mourinho coming into the team, a winner like him, is won leagues in the likes of Porto, Inter, Madrid. He's a winner, proven, and he has won twice with Chelsea in the English Premier League. And he came into this team. The last season they finished around 14th, 15th. People counted him out, but right now they are second. They are tied point to point with Liverpool. Out of 27 possible points in the English Premier League, they actually accumulated 20. And this is a team that have not actually won anything under the likes of Pochettino. But right now, Mourinho came in, he beats Pep Guardiola, a team that's actually trying to find points to climb up to the table. It's insane, it's exciting. It shows you that English Premier League is actually one of the most exciting leagues in the world. And right now, they are going places. The likes of Reguilon is coming. Mourinho brought Reguilon into the squad. He has actually adapted, and Harry Kane is completely blowing minds. The young son coming in constantly, week to week. Not every single week though, but from time to time he backs up his team. But Harry Kane is the MVP of the whole show. Harry Kane has completely transformed under Mourinho. People are actually saying Mourinho has brainwashed his team. I mean, it's insane. He has brought a group of average players and turned them into one of the best teams in the world. And I hope this continues, because we need things like this. We need exciting things like this in the English Premier League. It makes football much better to watch for everybody. But let's go on to something else that is quite interesting. Chelsea is still going in strong. Another clean sheet for the boys at Stamford Bridge, that Frank Lampard leads his squad of young stars to another progressive win, and this is actually going places I mean, I know people were complaining, and Gareth Southgate was complaining, like Chilwell actually recovered very fast to play for Chelsea, because Chilwell said he couldn't play for the Three Lions when they had their international break. But that does not matter. Frank Lampard boys are winning. They are winning, and they are going strong. This young group of boys gathered together under this young manager who is giving them some vision. They're going places. Mendy has been keeping another clean sheet. The likes of Zuma and his entire cast of defenders like Thiago Silva, Chilwell, Reece James, they are protecting this keeper. They are bringing things into the English Premier League. They're the youngsters. On paper, there's nobody currently better than them. I mean, you might argue that, okay, the likes of Liverpool, Man City look awesome on paper, but these young boys, even with the likes of Kyle Havertz out on COVID-19, inquiries, they are still progressively winning games. They are still coming in back-to-back, showing everybody that they might be unexperienced. Yeah, they might be young, a relatively young team, but they are constantly winning games. And they're not just winning games, they are winning games while keeping a clean sheet. That is actually making a wild, crazy statement in the Premier League. So right now, their biggest challenge is yet to come in their next game week, which is going to be Chelsea against Tottenham. Frank Lampard is going to be playing against his former manager, Mourinho. It's going to be insane. I mean, Tottenham is doing well. Chelsea is doing really great. And now, who's going to be the king of London? Who's going to provide the exciting football that we're all waiting to see? But I don't know. We all know one thing. Mourinho is not going to allow his opponent to just have a field day on him. No way. Mourinho is not going to allow Frank Lampard to play his game. But I can assure you it's going to be a heated game. It's going to be more heated than Tottenham against Man City. This is going to be a very, very interesting game. Now, right here, you're going to get all the analysis, the in-depth analysis on how these two teams played. Very, very interesting game. But there's something else I want to tell you guys before we move on from Tottenham against Man City. If you guys watch that game properly, you'll see that Mourinho actually captured the hearts. He knew exactly what Pep Guardiola wanted to do. The likes of Rodri leaving the midfield, they pushed into the attack, and that is when Tottenham went on the full counter. I mean, I know I'm going on and on about Mourinho's tactics, but there's nobody like Mourinho. He's the special one. He captured exactly what Pep Guardiola wanted to do. And this is the problem that Man City is constantly having right now. They do not know how to struggle under pressure to get games. Once Pep Guardiola's team cannot play the game they want, the open football, the attacking football with full possession, they don't know how to win. Tottenham did not have that much possession. They were just down on possession, but they still came in with 2 clean goals from Son and Lo Celso, and it was brilliant. Kane actually provided 1 assist for his teammate Lo Celso, and it's insane. I really want you guys to understand that. But going into the next game, Tottenham against Chelsea, you would see Mourinho's prowess of football, and we'll see if Frank Lampard, the young star, the young manager in the English Premier League, has actually come in with some interesting football. But anyway, Liverpool have done it again in Anfield. They took down Leicester City. Yes, it was a very, very interesting game. 3-0. It could have been more actually, because Firmino missed a couple of chances. And Firmino actually scored. Jota scored, Firmino scored. Everybody has counted Firmino. Everybody has counted him out of the Anfield squad. Everybody has said, okay, fine, Firmino, the Brazilian, is out. He's on his last foot in Anfield, and he's not going to pick anything up. But Salah was, as we all know, as I already said, he was already out on COVID. He tested positive for COVID when he went for the international break with his Egyptian squad. And now everybody said, okay, fine, Jota is going to lead these guys, Mane is going to lead these guys, Firmino is nowhere to be seen. But the sad thing is, even though Liverpool has been plagued by a lot of injuries, and the likes of Fabinho came in dying minutes to actually build up that squad, build up that centre-back position, they still happen to win. It's insane. Against Leicester City that is going strong with the likes of Jamie Vardy and Tielemans constantly pushing their game, they were still cropped out. I mean, the man of the match for me was Robertson. Robertson was everywhere. He was behind, he was defending, he was offensive. He created the first goal for Jota, even though the first cross was an own goal by Johnny Evans. Robertson is constantly showing everybody that even though a lot of spotlights put on Trent Alexander-Arnold, they should not forget his impact on that squad. And he proved it again by providing a sublime cross to Jota. And it's insane. It's quite insane. Liverpool is picking up form. They are playing, even though they are plagued by constant injuries. And the likes of Klopp have complained to BT Sports and Sky Sports to actually be very careful with the scheduling, because this scheduling is breaking down these players. But still, Klopp was able to gather his band of boys, and they still won another game against Leicester. The team currently on top of the table. And it's insane. 3-0 with clean sheets. At least it wasn't challenged. I'm loving football right now. You have to love the English Premier League right now if you're watching it. Things are going, people are being shook out of different positions, and it is just, it is exciting. That is all I have for you on Sports Updates, as usual. But the Champions League is coming up this weekend, and you know what that means. We are the champions. Insane football. Insane football. People are going to come in and trying to win the Champions League. I mean, right now, I want to first say something. Everybody might think this Champions League might be for Bayern Munich, but it's not going to be Bayern Munich this time. Charlie, Liverpool, they carry the trophy. Yes! I said it here. You heard it here first. Anfield, the trophy is coming back to Anfield, but it's going to be intense. There's going to be a lot of interesting football, and I'm going to be here as usual on Sports Updates, give you the updates about all the games happening in Champions League. So remember, not touch that dial. Remember to click that notification button. Remember to comment in the comment section below what you feel, what you think, what is going on, what you feel about everything I said. I will definitely get back to you. Definitely get back to you. Remember to like and subscribe. As usual, it's your boy Dio on Sports Updates, keeping it locked. And I'll see you guys next time. Safe.